Good morning, everyone. Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. The Montana Independent Bankers Association held an ag conference this week in Billings. Some of the speakers included our very own Courtney Kibwhite and Taylor Brown, along with Lynn Paulson, Senior VP and Director of Agribusiness Development with Bell Bank that covers much of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Paulson told me producers should be stocking away capital while the income is high and have a firm understanding of the end user.
But I think they need to be strong proponents of their own industry. And you know, generally, you know, farmers and probably more so ranchers are fiercely independent, right? And they've been that way, and they've whatever. But you know, they may have to let that guard down a little bit more and to be listening to the consumer, listening to what the market is wanting. Because at the end of the day, agriculture's new boss is the American consumer.
Montana Independent Bankers Association will hold their annual conference in Big Sky at the end of July. Well, U.S. Representative Matt Rosendale and the rest of the House Natural Resources Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation heard testimony yesterday regarding the Biden administration's burdensome regulations on public lands. Rosendale asked witness and Nevada Department of Agriculture Director J.J. Goycochea what impact the rule could have if finalized.
Without a thorough socioeconomic analysis, we cannot really know what those economic impacts are. If you take a producer off of a land for 5 or 10 years, whether it is grazing, mining, a campground, for example, what are those economic impacts to that community? They are great. And in the case of a rancher, they will be out of business. They cannot sustain it if they are removed because they are non-compliant with the conditions of a lease. And to say that it will not have a financial impact is erroneous.
Well, join me back here shortly for a look at your ag markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends, to your ag news and the markets. Ford CEO Jim Farley announced on Twitter on Tuesday that the company would include AM radio as part of the newly manufactured vehicles in 2024. Farley says after speaking with policy leaders about the importance of AM broadcast radio as a part of the emergency alert system, they've decided to include it in all 2024 Ford and Lincoln vehicles. Any other owners of the Ford electric vehicle without AM broadcast capability will also be offered the capability through a software update, according to the company. The reversal follows action by lawmakers who introduced the AM for Every Vehicle Act last week and opposition by broadcast associations. Well, feedlots and packers did not reach any early agreements this week on the negotiated cash cattle bids as of this morning. All eyes, of course, will be on them today as the continued softness in the box beef markets comes ahead of the grilling season kickoff this weekend. Seasonal slowdowns are coming to the local auction barns as cattlemen and women get the herd turned out to the summer pastures. For Miles City, it was just under 700 head ran through the ring this week with decent tests on the young open stock cows. For the cull cows, they also gathered the bids on both sides of that $1 per pound mark. For Newell sheepyards, it was also a slowdown with the regular sales scheduled for today. And also after 2 solid days of gains this week, the wheat markets gave back nearly all the ground they made up yesterday after weather caused traders to become a little bit less than optimistic. Well, that's all for our ag markets and news. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.